My wife locks the room every time we finish making love. Part 5. The knock on the glass didn't come again. Just one. One knock to remind us that the story wasn't in this house anymore. It was somewhere else. That was how I convinced her. 2 days later, with a soft voice and steady eyes, I said, "Take me to your village." She didn't argue. Didn't cry. Didn't smile. She just nodded and said, "Pack small things. We would move by 6 a.m. That was how we found ourselves in a dusty bus heading to the east, down to somewhere in Anambra that Google Maps couldn't even pronounce well. Her village. Ogbunike. The moment we stepped down from the kiki that carried us from the junction, the air changed. Not the weather. The atmosphere. The kind of silence that feels like everybody knows something you don't. A small group of elders were sitting under a mango tree by the village square. They saw us, paused their conversation, and just stared. Not in a welcoming way. Adi squeezed my hand gently. We kept walking. As we passed them, one of the men, a very old man with red eyes and a cracked voice, whispered something in Igbo. I didn't understand it. But Adis did. Because her whole body froze for 2 seconds. Then she kept walking. We got to the compound. Old house. Cracked walls. Dust everywhere. She opened the front door with a spare key and stepped in like someone revisiting her past. Inside, it was cold. Not AC cold. Old cement cold. That evening, I told her I wanted to take a walk. She nodded. I walked down to the Catholic church beside the stream. The priest there was an old man with gray hair and kind eyes. He looked at me and asked, "Are you Adi's husband?" I said yes. He nodded slowly, then sighed. "You have work to do, my son." I blinked. "Work?" He looked away. "Your wife comes from a line of women who were not ordinary. Be patient with her. She's fighting many things you can't see." "What things?" I asked. He shook his head. "Go home. And pray before you sleep." That night, while Adis was bathing, I found something. An old picture frame on the wall. Behind it, folded small and tucked deep, was a letter. Different handwriting. I opened it quickly. The first line read, "If you're reading this, Adis, then they found you again." I barely got to the next line before I heard footsteps. She walked in, saw the paper, snatched it, and without blinking, tore it. Burned it in the candle. Right in front of me. "Why did you do that?" I asked. She looked at me. Some doors should never open twice. That was the end of it. Till the next evening. We were outside, under a tree, when she finally opened up. "I was married before," she said. I turned slowly. "What?" He was older. Powerful. Controlling. He wanted to change everything about me. Even my name. Said my spirit was too wild. "What happened?" She sighed. "He died. Nobody believed I didn't kill him. I kept quiet. They came for me. His family. The police. Everyone. So I ran." I nodded slowly. But something inside me said, "Go and find out for yourself." So I did. 2 days later, I traveled to Nsukka, where the man used to live. I spoke to neighbors. Some said Adis was a victim. That the man beat her, starved her, locked her inside for days. Others said she was a witch. That the man started bleeding from the eyes the night she finally shouted back at him. That he died with his mouth open and her name on his tongue. I came back with more confusion than I left with. But it wasn't over. Because 2 nights after we returned to the city, I woke up and saw something. Adis. Standing on the balcony. Barefoot. Back turned. Whispering into the dark. I walked closer. Adis. She didn't turn. Just kept whispering. I didn't understand the words. But I saw her back. Scratched. Red marks. Like claws. The next morning, I asked her. She said, it was a dream. Then smiled. But the worst part hadn't happened yet. Because the very next week, there was a power outage. I lit a candle. Turned to look at the mirror. She was standing beside me. But in the mirror, it wasn't Adis. It was someone else. Same dress. Same hair. Different face. The candle flickered. I looked beside me again. Still her. I looked back at the mirror. Nothing there. Just the flame. But from behind me, her voice came again. Soft. Calm. Somto, stop digging. I turned. She was smiling. But this time, I could tell. It wasn't my wife that was smiling at me. It was something else wearing her face. I took a step back. She didn't move. Just kept watching me with that same calm, calculated smile. Then she turned and walked into the darkness of the hallway. Slowly. Like someone who knew I'd follow. But I didn't. Not that night. Instead, I slept in the parlor. Lights on. Candle off. My Bible beside me. And yet, I still couldn't sleep. My mind kept replaying the mirror. The marks on her back. The whispering. The woman in the village. The priest. Everything. By morning, she was back to herself. Same voice. Same eyes. Same gentle way of placing food in front of me. But I couldn't eat. Talk to me, Adis, I said quietly. She didn't look up. Please, I begged, my voice almost cracking. If you don't tell me what's going on, something bad will happen. To you? To us? She looked up slowly. Then the tears started again. But this time, she didn't fight it. I didn't plan to marry, she said. I wasn't even supposed to. I tried to resist you. But when you came, something in me said maybe this was the man who could carry it with me. Carry what? I asked. She hesitated. Then said it. There's something that comes after we make love. I froze. What? She nodded. Be every time. That's why I locked the door. That's why I lit the candle. That's why I whisper prayers in tongues I don't even fully understand. Because if I don't, it comes. I was shivering. But what is it? She wiped her face with her wrapper. I don't know. My mother never explained. But she used to do it too. Lock the door. Cry after love. Pray through the night. I thought she was mad. She looked at me now, pain filling her eyes. But I became her. That night, I made sure she fell asleep before me. I watched her closely. Made sure the candle was lit. Made sure the door was locked, but the day I forgot, everything changed. I was tired. Work stress. I came home, we talked, laughed, and made love. For once, she didn't stop me from falling asleep first, but I forgot to lock the door. It was around 2:13 a.m. when I woke up. I didn't hear anything. I just felt cold. Thick cold. I turned and saw Adis jerking in her sleep. Her mouth opened, gasping like she was drowning in air. Her eyes rolled up. Her hands twisting. I jumped out of bed. Adis. She didn't respond. I held her. Shook her. Nothing. Then I heard it. A slow, low growl. Coming from the wall. I didn't wait. I locked the door. Grabbed the candle. Prayed out loud with everything I had inside me. Father, I don't know what this is, but it must stop tonight. And slowly, her body calmed. Her hands dropped. Her mouth closed. She opened her eyes and cried like a baby. That was the final straw for me. I told her the next day, I couldn't watch her suffer anymore. If she wouldn't save herself, I would find someone who could. That was how we traveled again. Back to Ogbunaik. But not to the priest. To someone else. An old woman they called Mama Ijeoma. She lived near the edge of the village, close to the forest. Blind in one eye. But her spirit was sharp. The moment she saw Adis, she nodded like she'd been expecting us. I warned your mother, the woman said, but she didn't listen. Now it has followed you. What followed her? I asked. The woman turned to me. She was born under a vow. An ancestral agreement. The first daughter in every generation must remain untouched, unmarried. Or else, the spirit they serve comes for her lover. I felt dizzy. Adis was crying. And what do we do? I asked. She paused. Then looked at Adis. You must go to the stream of silence. Alone. Fast. Bathe. Burn what ties you to the bloodline, your mother's scarf. And speak your own vow. With your own mouth. Adis looked terrified. But will it work? I asked. The woman nodded. If her heart is clean, and her love is true, it will. The next morning, Adis left. Alone. To the stream. She didn't let me follow her. For 12 hours, I didn't hear from her. I stayed by the compound gate, staring into the road. By 9 p.m., she came back. Soaked. Pale. But standing. Barely. She didn't talk that night. She just slept. No candle. No prayer. No locked door. And nothing happened. I kept watching. The next night came. Same thing. Unlocked. Free. Calm. By the third night, I knew it was over. The chain was broken. The spirit was gone. She woke up with a smile that morning. A real one. The kind I had never seen since I met her. And I cried. Like a man, I love you, I said. She held my face. I know. Weeks passed. No more whispers. No marks on her back. No shadows in the mirror. Just love. Pure and full. Then one day, she showed me something. A test result. 2 red lines. She was pregnant. And I laughed like a madman. Because the same woman who used to lock the room after every touch was now giving life. No fear. No spirit. Just peace. Now, I sleep deep. No candle. No Bible beside my pillow. Just Adis. And I hold her every night. Like a man who has seen darkness and survived it. My wife doesn't lock the room anymore. Because she doesn't need to. She's free. We are free. The end. Thanks for watching. For more intriguing stories, please subscribe to this channel.